Hi guys, I'm Fitbees. I asked Jasmine, and I invite you to follow me on Instagram and also on OnlyFans for some sexy content and muscle worship with my booty. I also have a FineWise page that you can see me doing training and any kind of videos. So I wish to have fun with you guys. I also do some Skype session while we are in quarantine, so go ahead.
Oh, there's What's up, girl?
I got dressed up just for you.
Oh, it looks beautiful. I love the hat. Women for Trump on the hat. Nice. Now wait, your name is Jen is your first name, correct?
Yeah, but I'm thinking about changing it to Carol.
Oh, okay. Carol Baskins.
I'm with the whole country. We're sleeping with the same person, a redneck with a tiger, and he's gay. So the whole country and we're all sleeping together with the same guy. I was in the Marine Corps for 6 years. And then from there, I started modeling and had a good career, got married, got divorced. And then here I am, starting back over. I went to jiu-jitsu to kind of give me a sense of empowerment back after I had gone through everything. And now I'm just, I want to start my own podcast, do my YouTube channel, clothing line. I just want to have my hands in everything I can, kind of regain what I lost, kind of like most women in America, and just feel a sense of empowerment and help other people, and mostly women, get back on their feet and feel good about themselves after, a rough journey.
Yeah, now being in the Marine Corps for 6 years, tip my cap, huge. That's fucking full-fledged respect for that. How was that like as a lady in the Marine Corps?
Well, now it's a little bit different. I was back a little bit later, and at that time it was kind of rough. There wasn't that many women, but you just do your job, do what you got to do, and I did good. I loved it. I had to get out because I had a surgical malfunction done to me, so a lot of dreams were crushed with that whole thing, but I've made the best of it since then.
Oh, okay. And where were you stationed?
Okinawa, Korea, Arizona, Camp Pendleton, and Camp Johnson.
All right, so you overseas, you were fucking States-based too. That's cool, man. Yeah. I mean, that 6 years isn't, that's a nice that's a good career part.
It is. I was sorry to see it go. Still am.
Yeah. How was it though? I mean, did you? Listen. If I was in the Marines and somebody like you was in a foxhole with me, I'd be eating your asshole. I'm sorry. Wasn't there guys hitting on you like crazy?
Yeah, but to be honest, I was more seen as like a little sister than, which I'm sure like at any point they would have all slept with me if I let him, but I didn't. I kind of wanted the respect of my peers, and I got it.
Yeah. But
they were my big brothers, and still are.
You're fucking gorgeous, man. If I had a chance to fucking make a move on you, I would not let it fucking slide through my snacks.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. They all still show me a lot of respect. They're very respectful. No, the Marine Corps family is there. I don't get no eggplant emojis or anything like that in my DM. They're very respectful and they help. I'm the still little sister, which I am very grateful for.
Now, you live in Vegas. You look, you're beautiful. You're blonde. You have big tits.
Thank you.
What is your average day like? Like, what do you do for a living? Because if I look like you, I'd be doing a lot of different things.
Well, right now I'm starting my life over. So I'm, working my way towards a podcast and a YouTube channel, clothing, coffee. I'm just trying to network right now, build everything up. So I am kind of on your level, or I love, I would love to have my own YouTube channel, but it'd all be like fun, loosely based, political, sexy,
Sure.
For veteran and military. I mean, it's the way to go these days. We're killing it. The veterans are killing it in this business.
Oh, you definitely. And you and I were talking, before the show, and I definitely have plans that I want to run with you. We already, already laid a few crumbs for the groundwork, and we're going to work on that. We'll talk about that.
Cool.
And I think that would be a fucking no-brainer. I think it would be great. But like you said, you're divorced and stuff like that. So what's your love life like? Because it shouldn't be too hard for you to find a date, I can imagine.
Well, I have a boyfriend. He's deployed in Afghanistan, but right now I'm sleeping with Netflix like everybody else.
Okay. So you must be like, you have to have like that's it. You're with the boyfriend, right? So we'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Let me tell you. But after divorce, I did I was like, fuck, man. And so I kind of ventured over to like the lady pond, and that was kind of cool for a little bit. I enjoyed it, but COVID-19 kind of blocked that one.
Let's delve into that area of mine. So you said fuck men, and men are dicks. I'll be honest. Listen, we do stupid things a lot. We always want to get laid, and if we get ourselves in trouble that way, and it's none of my business why you got divorced, and I wouldn't even ask you that.
Yeah.
But now that you found yourself, so how did you go? How does one go about saying I want to try to fuck this chick?
I just lost interest. I think it happens for a lot of women when you go through a rough marriage and a rough divorce. For guys, they kind of go into like fuckboy syndrome after they get divorced. And for a lot of women, I've noticed we're kind of like with the men, and like I kind of want to just hang out in the lady pond for a little bit and be adventurous and explore other things. And that's kind of where I went for a little bit, and I didn't mind it at all.
So how did you do it? Like you went to a lesbian bar, or you went on?
No. So I was at a photo shoot, and I was like, just said everything I'm doing right now. We went in the jacuzzi, had a couple glasses of wine, and there you have it. I had myself a cute little 26-year-old.
Oh my God!
So that I make no apologies for it.
Why should you?
I love women in my DMs.
I don't know. How long ago was that? Because you're only
24
now. You went backwards.
Last month. And like, if it wasn't for the virus, there'd probably be a little bit more of it.
Yeah, but you're only in your 20s also. How is that possible?
Not really. I'm not.
You're looking.
Thank you.
You look phenomenal.
Thank you.
So you had a couple. So was this with the photographer then?
No, model. Yeah. So
you and another girl were doing model. Was it nude modeling?
No, it was for my Muay Thai Jiu-Jitsu kind of fitness thing, and she was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And you guys were doing some sexy poses, I'm sure, leaning on each other.
Yeah, I was there helping her. I was shooting, and she was there, and then we just had a conversation, and then had a couple of glasses of wine, and sat in a jacuzzi, and it's like the perfect scenario for something like that to happen. And then after that, I was really into it. So I started building my platform, and then I got all these other models in there hitting me up, and I'm like, okay, I'm down.
And how much price have you had? I'm dropping stuff all over the place. How many things have you enjoyed since then with other chicks?
I mean, since divorce, I've done with 2 women, but
2 women.
I'm
Okay.
there's a whole, when this virus list is on.
Oh, this is fucking everybody's love.
Yeah, I mean, when I say it's like this, it's like that.
Oh. So, all right, so you're in the jacuzzi with the chick, going back to the first one. Who makes the first? Are you guys naked or are you wearing bathing suits?
No, I mean, you don't know. Nobody wears a bathing suit anymore. It's,
Okay, all right, listen, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think it was me. She was a little younger, so yeah, it was me.
Yeah, so you had the.
I went in for the kill.
Was it her first time with
Yes.
another woman?
Yes.
And was it your first time with another woman? I'm going to say no.
No.
Okay.
In past relationships, I did like threesome things, but this was my first time just for one girl. No relationship involved. It was just her and I. So that was kind of fun.
So you knew once you got in that jacuzzi, you said, "Oh, I'm dropping a load on this fucking broad." You knew right away.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. And she showed no signs of like going, "Hey, whoa, I'm not. That's not."
She loved it.
She was down with it, right?
She loved it, and I was like, "Are you sure you've never been with a girl?"
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, she loved it.
Squirting in your face. So how far did
Yeah,
you
and
go
then
in the
after
jacuzzi?
that,
Did you take it indoors?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you started going in the jacuzzi and then you went in the room or whatever.
Yeah, pretty much.
She spent the night?
Huh?
Did she spend the night like you did a little?
No. I'm not into like the cuddle thing right now.
Oh, all right. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's nothing wrong with
Hit it
fucking
and
waking
quit it.
up in your makeup and getting another load off, though, right?
Yeah, I was ready to go home and go to my own bed. But yeah, ever since then, she's been like openly looking for, openly talking about loving other women. So I'm like, yeah, I did that.
You brought it out. It was deep inside her. You brought that.
I birthed that.
That is,
Yeah.
you're a true patriot for doing that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Oh man! So you guys did the whole 9 yards, right? Everybody, there was mouth. Did you guys do tripping at all? I have a question, and that's a dead serious question. I jerk off to a lot of fucking lesbian and threesome porn and stuff. Probably on a daily basis. Who doesn't, right? Good, thank you. Girls tripping. Now it looks really hot, but I don't know. I have a feeling. Does it really happen that often in the real world?
Wait, what did you say? Girls what? You might pull a new
Tripping.
one.
Like when they like rub clits, like she's fucking her. Not like a scissor, like when one girl's like on top of the other and she's like fucking her.
Yeah, I haven't done that. See, I'm still like I'm still like exploring. So yeah, but I'm gonna have to try that one. I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah, because I mean, it looks like a real, like it's really hot. It almost looks like if you first catch it, it looks like almost a strap-on scene, and then you realize, oh no, it's a tripping, and it's kind of hot. But I just don't. I don't know. I don't buy it in the real world. But maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong because it's one of my wishes.
You have my wheels spinning, and I think I'm gonna have to make a phone
You're
call.
gonna have to try that.
Yeah.
Maybe one day you and I'll have to do a little Skype session and talk about it. 30 or 40 seconds, probably long. That's like right after the.
Yeah. Okay, good. Fuck, I can't hear you now.
I can see you fine.
Okay. You
All right,
going
so
in
we
and
should-
out.
I'm going in and out. I wish I was.
Yeah.
Any of the 3 holes.
Hey guys, Kat Secor, IFBB Pro and Super League Pro, and you're watching Muscle Sport TV.
You can't have it both ways, libs. You want to blame Trump for the whole coronavirus, and he waited too long, and we could have saved so many lives if he acted faster. But then the governors are saying, well, he can't tell us when to open our state. So if they have the say of when to reopen their state, shouldn't they have had the authority when to close it? When to get the supplies and all of that stuff? So they're blaming Trump for taking too long to close it and not having supplies. If they want full autonomy, you got to take the good with the bad there, guys. Sorry, fucking, it is what it is. Don't blame him, meaning the president, for fucking up when you guys want the fucking full power, but you don't want to take fucking responsibility when shit goes fucking downhill. So you should have had some equipment, and you should have at least closed the fucking places off, waiting for the equipment. You wouldn't have needed the equipment if no one got sick. That's what they're basically trying to say. If he shut this place down before people got out there and spread it around and all of that, and asymptomatic people, even ones that weren't showing symptoms, all right? And trust me, I got two parents that are fucking sick. One's in a nursing home and one's in a fucking hospital. I can't visit either of them. I don't know what the fuck's going on with them. All right, so I'm just as much as in the dark. Thankfully, neither of them have anything to do with this COVID shit. It's other fucking previous things, pre-existing fucking conditions. But so it's affecting me in my life, not just because I can't go to the fucking gym. So well, if it really affected you, you'd have no, fuck you. I do. It is affecting me as far as I'm concerned. Well, you don't know anything about your fucking parents' health situation, mental and or physical. Read between the lines, asshole. All right. So this is affecting me on a personal level. I feel that in a fucking national emergency type of situation like this, the president should have fucking final say on things, but he should also have not just decide on his own, in conjunction with respective governors of different states and maybe senators and even Congress people from those states. Maybe he can sit down and have meetings with them, and then they decide together when to open it. But if the governors want to be, we want to have fucking final say, and he's not a king, and Thomas Jefferson said that, and the I'm enough with this Constitution shit. You liberals fucking point to it only when it favors you. But when it favors us, i.e. the Second Amendment, you just fucking cry like cunts that you are. So take responsibility or give it up. Can't have it fucking both ways.
Shut up and sit down.
Time for a little light workout outside. With no whiskey, get workout done at home. Have a great one.
This is Robert Frank, 615, and you're watching Muscle Sport TV, the most jacked and tan show on the fucking internet.
Race relations are pretty bad nowadays. I mean, a lot of issues between blacks and whites, and I have my theories, but that's a topic for another day. But also, when I was a cop back in the 80s and 90s and up until the early 2000s, race relations weren't so hot either. Probably, since the civil rights movement, probably that time in the 80s was pretty up there as far as a lot of confrontations and the like. And an infamous thing was the Day of Outrage, put on by Al Sharpton, C. Vernon Maddox, and Mason and Maddox, and all of these. The names all kind of just fucking jumbled all together. C. Vernon Mason, Alton Maddox, Herbert Daughtry, the Reverend. But I used to call them Sharpton and the Sharptonettes. That was my pet name for them. And my first day out of the academy on patrol in uniform was for a Day of Outrage. In Bedford-Stuyvesant, we started our day, where I was turning out of the 79th Precinct. And we got shipped over to the Brooklyn Bridge, the foot of the Brooklyn side of the Brooklyn Bridge, and there was a big demonstration. All the blacks were demonstrating against the whites, and it was a lot of things, the Howard Beach, and then later on was the Bensonhurst incident, and there was just, tons and tons, I guess, of things that the blacks had against the whites. And here I was, 20 years old, a Brooklyn kid, but not that part of Brooklyn. And I am standing in the fucking pouring rain, and we had to march they took over the Brooklyn Bridge. They shut it down because they didn't use the foot traffic part, mind you. They wanted to make an impact, and they stopped traffic, and they walked on the regular part of the Brooklyn Bridge, going Manhattan bound. And they had a lot of them there, a lot of protesters, and no justice, no peace, PBA, KKK, different names, same game, whose streets, our streets. I mean, I can go on and on. These are things that, I heard just ad nauseum. And we had to walk alongside of them to make sure that the counter-protesters who were not there wouldn't assault them. We had to make sure they were safe while they were motherfucking us. So I was called the white blue-eyed devil I don't know how many times that day. I just, even as a 20-year-old kid, I didn't give a shit about that stuff. I just laughed about it, and it carries on 32 years later now. I just laugh when people say shit about me. I could give a fuck. Because I know that, what are you doing after this, jerk off? That was my thing. I'm going to go out, have a few beers, and probably get laid. What are you going to do? Go back to the projects? Fucking have roaches crawl all over you? Something like that. As I got a little older and my little more experience under my belt, I started to do that. But not that day. Oh, no. And the cops' raincoats. Cops nowadays, you motherfuckers are spoiled, man, with those blue soft. Oh, those things are fucking comfortable as fuck. You had to see what we used to wear. It was almost like a doorman's cape. It was rubber, and it snapped. It almost looked like a shawl kind of thing. And we had the one that went over the hat, and then the little things that covered the front of your little booties and stuff. But you couldn't move. It was like a big rubber thing. So God forbid you had to take police action. Shit, man, you basically had a straitjacket on. So yeah, that was the Day of Outrage. My first day in the streets wearing the blue after graduating the police academy. And this was January. I went into the academy in July. I graduated in January. So it was cold. It was wet. And I was getting called all sorts of names by these lovely, lovely, lovely folk that were protesting black versus white. And there was so many Day of Outrage stories. There was another one where they didn't have a permit. I don't think they ever had a permit, to be honest with you. And most of the time, the decision is just to let them fucking do whatever the fuck they want. So they didn't have a permit, and I think they were doing something where they were stopping the subways. So Sharpton and all of the people that the leaders of it got locked up, and they were being arraigned at Brooklyn Criminal Court. So they had a whole bunch of us. I believe we might have been in riot gear, but they used to also not want us in riot gear because they said that it would rile them up more if they saw us wearing helmets and things like that. We used to call it hats and bats. That was the police jargon nickname for it. So I believe we were not in hats and bats. But we were 3 deep with the police barriers, and they would bring these guys out of the courthouse and put them on a Department of Corrections blue and orange fucking bus that was parked outside the courthouse in Brooklyn. And every time they would come out handcuffed, the fucking court officers and or the correction officers, they were being rough with these guys a little bit because they were struggling and stuff, and I can't blame them. So a lot of times they fell down the stairs. But the protesters who we were holding back with those blue wooden NYPD barriers, which is shit, the metal ones they have nowadays are much better because you can pick them, hold them, and actually do that. But the wooden ones, basically you had to put your stick on the wood and push back on the people, and your partner behind you put his stick on you, and then if it was 3 deep, there would be a third guy. So, like, you would put your stick against your partner's back, and it got fucking wild. And basically, we would tell them to get their hands off the barriers, and if they didn't listen to the verbal command, we sometimes needed to let them know via the nightstick. I will not call it a baton. The nightstick. We would let them know, like, excuse me, you can't put your hands on this barrier and push against me. Obviously, I'm downplaying it for the internet, in case there's any children watching. But yes, many day of outrages. I've had a lot of fucking things thrown at me. Beer bottles bouncing off a fucking police riot helmet. It's fucking goes. You really, if you're a little sleepy, it wakes your fucking ass up. Trust me on that one. So yes, the 80s were a turbulent time in New York City. Black Brooklyn, where I worked, being the epicenter. The epicenter of the racial divide that the city went through back then. So I have a lot more of these stories I'll be telling you on Hairbag, NYPD in the 80s and 90s, because we got to fill up time because there's no sports and bodybuilding stuff going on with this fucking Chinese virus. So we got to do something to wrap up the time. So let me know what you guys think. Tell me what you want to hear about. I got some good stuff. I got street stories. I got detective fucking and homicide investigation stories, undercover narcotic stories, getting shot at, all these fun things, running through the projects, climbing fences, chasing bad guys, sometimes catching them, sometimes not. You let me know, and I'll fucking, if I'm allowed to tell you, because there are certain things that we have to keep on the wraps, guys.
Hi, I'm the Crazy Hawk, Blackstone Athlete's first ever Spartan race athlete.
I'm Thea Renee.
And you are watching Muscle Sport Magazine TV.